From the headquarters of the Detroit Regional News Hub, this is Detroit Unspun TV. My name's Dave Lingholm, and I will be your tour guide for the next half hour. We've got a lot on deck for you today, including an interview with the president of Stay and Play Social Club and a cooking demonstration from the chef at Saltwater, one of only 6 restaurants in Michigan to receive the 4 Diamond rating from AAA. So sit down, put away that mouse, and enjoy the next half hour of Detroit Unspun TV. In headlines this week, doctors at the University of Michigan Health System in Ann Arbor successfully used a woman's shoulder blade to reconstruct her voice box in a very rare surgery. National Geographic Traveler magazine released their latest issue with a big feature on Detroit and the people who are making the city rise and shine. The Detroit Red Wings set an NHL record on Valentine's Day, winning their 21st consecutive home game at the Joe Louis Arena. And from our own blog, Karen Dybus reminds us that for crafters, inspiration doesn't come out of a can, it comes out of Detroit. Now, for more headlines like these, make sure you surf over to facebook.com/Detroit News Hub. Now, for our first story today, Natalia had the opportunity to sit down with Stephanie Puertas and learn how people can get involved in their community by simply playing volleyball.
Today we are with Stephanie Puertas. She's the owner of Stay and Play Social Club, and this is Detroit's largest organizer of co-ed sports leagues, and they also happen to organize a lot of exciting social events. So Stephanie, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Can you tell us a little bit about the Stay and Play Social
Absolutely.
Club?
Stay and Play provides an opportunity for the community to get together and participate in sport activities. I like to say it's our after college excuse for playing, because we do have so many people surrounding us in that time, and once you get out, you're in your work and you don't necessarily want to play with people you work with, so it's always fun to make new friends and gather with people on a sometimes competitive level, but sometimes very social level, and different variety of sports and interests.
So what are some of the sports leagues that you have available?
We have basketball, kickball, dodgeball, softball, basketball. I said basketball twice. Soccer, volleyball, indoor and sand, bags, bowling, tennis, euchre. I'm missing some, flag football. There's about 8 to 10 sports that we offer, as well as social activities that are a little more casual.
That's great. So if I'm interested in signing up for one of these things, I'm an individual. I played volleyball in high school. I loved it. Want to sign up again? What do I do? What are my next steps?
You can sign up with us as an individual or a small group or a full team. So if you don't have a full team and you want to be placed, you complete the free agent form, and we'll actually sign you up with a team, no matter what sport it is, and you would play with that team for that season. And then if it's after 9 weeks, if it connects, you guys can sign up again together, or you can try a new team.
Okay, so let's talk about the social side of this club. So let's say I'm not athletic, but I maybe just moved to the city, or maybe I'm just looking to meet new people. Tell me about some of the events that you're hosting.
Some of our sport events are social, like euchre, bowling. It's not the 300 bowlers, they're more the social bowlers. But our happy hours are once a month, and we go to local venues, and we have a happy hour from 6 to 9, the traditional old school happy hour where people can gather before the bars get too crazy at 10:30, and you actually know each other. Or it might be that person you saw at volleyball and maybe able to hang out at the happy hour together, and get to socialize in a different setting where you don't have your tie on, it's not networking, but you don't have your ball cap on and your sweatpants, so you get to dress up and have some fun.
How many people are currently involved in this? I mean, ballpark.
We have about 2,500 a week that play Sunday through Thursday in the co-ed sport leagues, and we have over 22,000 in the database, but it's the 2,500 core group of people that play weekly that have been a lot of fun, 4 seasons a year every week.
So you've been involved with this for, you said, what, 15 years?
I started running the social club in 1995.
What do you think is the impact on this region? How do you think this club has helped the area, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think it benefits not only the venues and the businesses, but the people as well, because they're able to network and socialize and stay involved. No one wants to go home every night of the week, and if you have that one night of the week that you're looking forward to, and some people play actually 3 nights a week, where they know they can run out and socialize with friends and head out to the sponsor bar afterwards, financially it's definitely helping the local businesses. But it's also building the community with people, with networking, both for relationships as well as, business or fun. And I can tell you, I have attended 45 social club weddings myself that I've been invited to.
So these are people that met. These are people that met at the social events. So this might be even the next. You might be competing with Match.com on some level.
There you go.
So 45 weddings.
Very successful weddings too, which is
my
fun.
gosh.
There's only been 2 that have divorced in the 15 years that I've actually gone to those weddings.
Hey,
So
that's a good
pretty
rate.
exciting.
That's
I know, it's a good ratio.
Maybe you
And
should
I think
market
it's because
that.
you stay active, and the couples still play together.
Yeah, they have something
We're
in
not a
common.
singles club, so even after they're married and having children, they're still coming out and playing volleyball or basketball or football. They're still socializing and keeping that connection with a couple, because a couple that plays together stays together too.
Hey, well, I like it. So what's the next step? Where do I go? Which website do I sign up to?
Our website is spscdetroit.com, and the mailing list is available right on the homepage, and we only send out 12 to 16 a year. We do not inundate you with emails on a daily or weekly basis. We'll give you our monthly update. We'll let you know what's going on. The registration is 4 times a year, and we're just here in the background when you need us. We'll work with you.
That's great. So if you want, you can sign up for this listserv, and they'll just kind of give updates on what's happening, the next leagues that are up and coming. So what is up and coming?
Well, you can join us on Facebook and Twitter as well. And our next event, our happy hour is March 9th at O'Toole's in Royal Oak. We'll have an after-work happy hour from 6 to 9.
That's great. Well, Stephanie, thank you so much for telling us a little bit about this Stay and Play social club. Make sure to check it out online. And I'll be playing volleyball soon. Thanks.
Excellent.
Thanks for that interview, Natalia. Now for our next piece, Just Baked Cupcakes announced this week that they will be opening a retail store in downtown Detroit on March 1st, which had us wondering, why now and why Detroit?
Many news reports talk about cloudy skies ahead financially for the city of Detroit. But without a doubt, there's definitely bright spots happening in the city. Over the last month, there's been some really interesting announcements of restaurants and retail moving into the downtown area. Just a block from here, Olga's has announced that they're going to be in the CompuWare building. And behind me, BW3s will be making their home in the city very soon. But we had a chance to talk to the newest addition, and that's going to be Just Baked over there in the Dime building. Pam Turkin's the owner, and she gave us a few minutes right outside her still under construction space. Let's go talk to her. So, Pam, thanks for joining us for a little bit here.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So, what was your motivating factor in putting your business down here, right here in the Dime building?
Well, we've always had a desire to be down in the city. We do a lot of work down here through catering and through some of our other endeavors, and we've been looking for a space down here for about a year, working with the Bedrock Group, and we just wanted to be part of the resurgence.
That's excellent. That's excellent. So, how many locations do you have around the region?
Well, this is going to be number 12 in southeastern Michigan for us.
Basically, there's so much talk around what's happening in downtown Detroit. There's new Olga's that's going to be opening up at BW3s, those kind of things. There's a lot of investment happening, but some people might think that the timing is a little odd considering all the financial clouds that some people say we've got going around. Why is it that you're not dissuaded from investing in the city?
Well, we feel like the city's been so good to us through our growth over the last 3 years that we really just wanted to put our money where our mouth was. We do so much work with the businesses down here anyway and spend a lot of time here on the weekends delivering, and we just thought we wanted to be part of the rebirth.
What are some of the things that your new customers down here, where there's so many different kinds of office buildings, law offices, things like that, what are the kind of things that your customers are going to be able to find here at Just Baked?
Well, we do about 65 different flavors of cupcakes on any given day. And we're just launching a new gourmet cookie program called our Bottomless Cookie Jar, which we're really excited about. We'll have wonderful, beautiful, fresh coffee, and in the spring we're adding ice cream.
That's excellent. So what is the target date for your opening?
March 1st, or sooner. We're on it. We're going to be open soon.
So what would you say to somebody who is thinking about either putting money in or moving down or those kind of things into the city?
I think they should come down here and see what Bedrock and the Gilbert Group are doing and look at the buildings. They're beautiful buildings. when I come down here in the morning, it's bustling. You wouldn't recognize it from Detroit, and kind of rethink their thoughts about what Detroit is. There's a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of love here in the city, and the people here are really open to lifting up businesses.
So speaking of Bedrock and Gilbert's companies, what was the road like to get this space downtown?
They were more than helpful. They have been guiding us through this for the last 6 months, and just wonderful to deal with. I think that they're really working hard to make sure that these businesses come down, and we all want to be successful. I want to be successful. They want me to be successful, and I think they recognize that in the people that they're working with.
Thanks, Jeremiah. Now, speaking of downtown, people wonder all the time, what is there to do when I get downtown? Good thing we've got this week's Dig Downtown 5 on tap for you. This winter is different. The snow that normally blanks our sidewalks and our lawns isn't. And each day feels a little more gray than we're accustomed to. Getting into the workday routine has been a little bit more difficult this year too. Now, while the groundhog watchers will quickly point out that Puxatawny Phil says we've got another 5 weeks of this stuff, we can't wait that long to inject some fun back into our routines. This week's communication is set to help you stretch your mind, challenge you physically, and get you ready for a few more weeks of winter. Are you ready? Number 1, ruined. The staff at the Plowshares Theater Company says it best when they describe this event as a beautiful story about the human spirit that will bring you to tears, not out of pity for the characters, but out of admiration for their strength. Number 2, the art of Beverly Buchanan. Well, Buchanan might call Ann Arbor home now. Her childhood in the South during the 1950s clearly play a role in how she expresses herself through her art. Her exhibit, which attempts to pay tribute to the human struggle, opens this Friday night. Storyteller 1.0. Colors Detroit does more than just serve great food for the body. They also serve a lot of great food for the mind. This Saturday, prepare to delve into a rousing discussion about the struggle of Dr. Sweet and his family with a nice, full, and happy belly. Number 4, Corktown Cinema, kill your idols. The Corktown Cinema is still in utero, which means that you've got another great reason to go check out PJ's Lager House. All proceeds go to help give birth to Detroit's newest movie house. And number 5, Detroit 2012 Law Enforcement Torch Run Polar Plunge. If you really want to do something to bust out of the winter blues, you absolutely have to do something completely outside your normal routine. Jumping into the Detroit River to support the Special Olympics ought to do the trick. From the 17th floor of the Broderick Tower, that's this week's Dig Downtown 5. Have you ever wanted to amaze your friends with 4 diamond fish and chips? Stick around for this next segment where we sat down with the executive chef at Saltwater Grill to find out how they make it happen. We are at Saltwater inside the MGM Grand Casino in Detroit, which is one of only 16 restaurants in the state of Michigan that received AAA's 4 Diamond Award. Here with the chef, Justin Schneider. We're going to do a brief cooking demonstration on, what are we doing? Tell me what we're doing today.
Today we're doing the saltwater fish and chips. This is one of our more popular items. Fried fish, always a crowd pleaser. We use a fish of the day. Like today we're using Molokini reef snapper. We also have a prawn, and we do something a little bit different. We take a slice of Meyer lemon, which is a cross between a tangerine and a lemon, and it's a little bit sweeter. And we bread that, or batter that, and fry it along with everything else, and you just kind of eat it right out of hands. So,
never had a fried lemon before.
It's delicious. It's delicious. So we're going to start by making our beer batter.
Okay.
We start with 50% cornstarch, 50% flour, and then we add some salt. Very simple batter. We use a dark beer, Founder's Dirty Bastard.
Do you always use Founders for this?
For this dish, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, our last one we're using a little bit lighter of a beer, we're using Stella Artois. But we wanted something a little more flavorful, a little darker.
When Dirty Bastard's got a nice firm flavor in itself.
Absolutely, it's malty, a little bit bitter, really great for this dish. One of the other things we do a little bit different is we use an Issy gun to fluff our batter before we use it. So this,
I think most people are used to seeing this as more of what they get the whipped cream out of at
Right.
Starbucks or something like that.
right, whipped cream or for pastry. So we put the batter in there. Just aside. Now, like when you make beer batter or anything like tempura batter or anything like that, it's best used right after you make it.
Okay.
So what this does is we can make it once and we use it all through service, all through the time we're cooking for the day.
Interesting.
And this is just like making it new every single time. Still has the fluffiness.
Well, and it aerates it a little bit too, so it's not that big, heavy, thick batter on the fish.
Right.
Either. It's probably a lot lighter tasting.
It is. So we start by seasoning our fish.
Is that just a little kosher salt there?
This is just kosher salt.
Okay.
Season the lemon as well. We're going to dredge it in our flour.
Any particular kind of flour? Or
Just AP flour, all-purpose flour.
not trying to get you to give away trade secrets or
No.
anything.
So as it comes out, you see it's very light. We just
That's got a great color to it too. I mean, it's picking up that malt. You know, it almost looks like a malt.
and you can definitely tell it's a darker beer after it's fried as well. So now we're going to carefully put this into the oil. Our fries that we use are a particular brand that is used throughout all the Michael Mina restaurants. As we do not make our own fries, this is a more consistent product, but it is a product used and have been tested in all the Michael Mina restaurants.
Very nice.
So we'll drop these down.
Now that's one thing. There are several different Michael Mina locations.
Yes.
You know, around the country. As a chef, what's it like to have him come in here every once in a while and work the line with you?
He's a very, very smart guy. Sorry, I gotta rinse my hand. He's a very, very smart chef, and he knows what he likes, and you can learn a lot from him. So as he's on the line, he's tasting everything. He's telling you everything that you're doing really well. And he's also telling you things that he would do differently. So you're constantly learning with him. He's a great guy to work with. So.
What, and in terms of this particular restaurant, what seems to be the most popular thing on the menu, or what's that one thing that you're making all the time?
There's a few things. The Michael Mina pot pie is one of the classic dishes that's on several of his menus, like Sea Blue in Vegas. That's a 2.5 pound lobster with a brandy cream sauce. Has seasonal vegetables, like right now we have carrots, turnips, Brussels sprouts, stuff like that. It's topped with the house-made puff pastry, baked in the oven. After it comes out, it's cut and served tableside. And that is something that everyone...
That sounds delicious.
It is very delicious. Not the healthiest thing in the world due to that cream sauce. I saw a statistic in one of the magazines. I don't remember what magazine it was, but it was up there. So
Everything in moderation.
everything in moderation. Well, you know, if you're going out to a nice restaurant to have dinner and you just want to have a good time, it's definitely worth the splurge.
Now, as a chef working in more of a corporate environment like this, I know some people would think, well, it limits your creative freedom. Have you found that to be the case here, or are you still able to pitch dishes on your own
Absolutely.
menu?
Each chef in the Michael Mina restaurants is allowed to put their own spin on the menus. A lot of the restaurants have the classic dishes that are available in many of the restaurants, like the pot pie or our tuna tartare, but we're certainly able to put our own food on the menu. Everything is checked over by Mike Mina, our executive chef of the company, our executive sous chef, and
so you know that you're getting consistent quality. I mean, as a diner, you know you're getting consistent quality when you come
absolutely. So now we're going to drain and season our fries. Let's move this stuff out of the way so we can plate. So we take what we call doilies. They're actually pieces of the menu because we do print daily. We take the menus that we didn't use and use those as part of our plating.
Nice.
So that's going to absorb some of the grease. We also make little cones out of them and serve. On the happy hour, we have a smaller version of this. We make a little portion with the 2 pieces of fish rather than the whole thing. Oops. Grab that.
Gotta have the shrimp.
Gotta have the shrimp.
Oh,
Again, season with salt.
I would serve it right on top there.
Right on top.
And have you pitched anything recently to be on the menu? And if you have, what's on here that's your creation?
Several items. Yeah, we just redid the menu about a month ago. Several of the items we have lobster chowder and baby beet salad. That is my creation.
Very nice.
So
good. It looks delicious.
All right. So yeah, in the end, this is our Michael Mina fish and chips with our house-made tartar sauce, ketchup, and a few slices of Meyer lemon to squeeze over the top. That's our dish.
All right. Mind if I try it?
Please do. Please do.
Hoping you'd tell me to go ahead and eat.
Go for the fish first.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
See how crispy and lacy it is still? Probably very hot.
You know it is, but the batter doesn't overpower the fish. I mean, that's still a really nice light flavor. So
fantastic.
So definitely, this is a treasure right here in the city of Detroit, right in our own backyard. Come down here and check out Saltwater. Thanks a lot for your time today.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Click. Detroit might be known around the world for cars, but it's also known around the world for its electronic music. In this week's Detroit People segment, we had a chance to chat with somebody who was a big innovator in promoting electronic music in Detroit.
I grew up I'm from here. I grew up between here and Virginia. I thought it was a home. But then B, I think that wherever you are when you're a child, it's full of mystery and magic. So the city, if we would go, somewhere, it was this vast, mysterious place, but a big city. It was, buses and people hustling and bustling and going to work and activity and you know what I'm saying. One reason why, when I graduated high school, I moved back. Was because it was still A, it was home, and then B, it was still a big city, and I knew that I wanted to live in a big city. I first was introduced to electronic music by some of my older cousins. In my generation, I'm the youngest child, so there was all these these kids older than me who were coming back. I would go over their house and they'd be like, "Oh, we were at, the Music Institute," and which was so funny because I was a kid and I thought it was like a music school. I thought it was the Music Institute. And they would, tell me these stories about DJs and all this crazy stuff. So, and they would bring, play mixtapes, tapes of music, and it was, just, this otherworldly sound with no context of like what was happening like at the party. You know, I was just hearing the music. People were just kind of getting together and finding these spaces and having these dance parties there with this really, you know, futuristic, progressive scene, but it was mostly African American. And it was all about progressiveness, though. It was very much about like this, you know, this weird counterculture, kind of like this is the future, like this is so mod, this is so sexy, you know. So I kind of got into it sort of at the remnants of that, like techno was like, you know, coming out of Detroit. Well, musically, it's definitely well, I mean, I think it's evolved, and one of the things that that's due to is technology and the rise of, you know, you used to need a lot of equipment. You know, in order to make a record, you have to have a drum machine, you have to have the keyboard, you have to have this, you have to have that. And now you can basically have a computer. So it's, in a way, it's democratized the process. So there's a lot of people who are now making music that, like the process to do it isn't so rigid. Also, I think exposure to it has grown because you no longer have to shop your thing to a label, hope they pick you up, and then hope that they press a record. You know, to get it out, you can just go to SoundCloud and upload your track and share it with people.
We hope you've enjoyed the last half hour of Detroit Unspun TV. There are a lot of people who make it happen every week. Our special thanks to Stephanie Puertas, Adriel Thornton, and the staff at Saltwater for coming on the show with us. And thanks to the guys at Burst Radio for reminding me to pick up my Grand Trunk Pub t-shirt. Buena suerte, Detroit.